Shalom. First and foremost, all praise and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem HaRakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders at the great millstone, and greetings, salutations, and blessings unto the elect. All right, so like we understand here at Great Millstone, and basically across the four corners of the earth, though the real men that are prophets of the Lord, these other guys such as Vocab Malone can't challenge you because you know the prophecies, okay? And that's what all these other groups don't have. They don't have the prophecies. They can break down which king in history and all of this and that, but they don't know the prophecy, okay? Because the spirit of prophecy is our Lord Yahweh Shai, which is the spirit of prophecy, which is in this word, which is the point of this word, okay? So the prophecy we're talking about directly is this mark of the beast. All right, I'm going to play a video, which is a thing about how in Sweden, a lot of Swedes are taking this mark. Now, the question that I want to raise, and I bet Vocab Malone can't break this down, is what happens to a heathen, if you take the mark of the beast. All right, and then I'm going to pretty much, I have a few scriptures that came to mind, and then I'm going to pretty much just flow from there. But I'm going to start by showing the video. Here we go.
The city of Lund in southern Sweden dates back to medieval times. Over the centuries, it's witnessed plenty of change, but now there's a whole new sort of evolution going on. I'm here to meet some of the thousands of people in the country who are adapting their own bodies, who are inserting microchips under their skin. It means they may never have to carry a house key, train ticket, or bank card ever again. This is a microchipping party. Hannah's getting an electronic chip implanted into her hand. She believes one day we'll all be chipped like her. So congratulations, Hannah.
Thank you.
You've been chipped?
Yes, I have.
How does it feel?
It feels good. I'm excited to see what I'll be able to do now.
Can I touch it?
Yeah, you can feel it there. I feel like this is the future. It's the next big thing that's gonna happen. Happy Cyborg birthday.
Happy cyborg birthday to you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. But is this sci-fi fantasy or practicality? I want to know why anyone would want to do this. For this teenager, microchips, it seems, are in her DNA.
She's my daughter and I'm the father.
So you're a microchip family?
We will become one now today.
Magnus and his daughter Felicia have come here together tonight because they believe this is the future. You're going to have an upgraded dad.
Yeah.
As they say, it was good being a human, but being a cyborg is better. You didn't feel the thing?
It's a quick, simple procedure with potentially huge significance. So you're officially part machine. How does it feel?
This is awesome. How cool is that? Good job.
Do you think in a few years' time, in a decade perhaps, we'll all have things like this?
Yes, of course. I really do think.
For around £130, anyone can get a tiny microchip like this inserted just beneath the skin in their hands. I can't help feeling a bit squeamish about it, but maybe I'm just behind the times. It's the morning after, and I'm about to catch up with Felicia and her dad Magnus as they get to grips with their new existence. So when you woke up this morning, was it the first thing that came to your mind? How did you feel?
I felt a little bit strange because now I'm a cyborg and it feels pretty cool.
The chips in their hands use near-field communication, the same technology that allows you to pay with a contactless credit card. They can be read by a device like a smartphone.
So here I've stored my business card on my phone with my details, phone number, email address, other stuff, blood group even.
So what's the benefit of that?
When I get customers or suppliers at work, they ask for my business card, and I say, scan me.
Aren't there risks involved in that as well? Couldn't somebody pass you by and take all that
Scan
information?
me. Yes, it is in theory possible, but you have to be really, really close. But the main thing I think is that I choose myself what I want to store on this chip.
The people I've met so far don't seem to have any concerns about blurring the lines between man and machine. Hannes has made it his mission to convince more of us to get microchipped. He's what's known as a biohacker, someone who wants to improve their body with technology. What's wrong with just having contactless payment cards? We've all got phones, we've all got a set of keys. What's the point?
The point is to reduce the hassle of exactly these things.
Isn't that just the ultimate laziness?
No, it's convenience. And convenience is a pretty powerful force. I mean, in the morning, every morning, when you stand there, going out your front door, you check your purse or your pockets. Okay, do I have my wallet, my charger, my keys, my phone, all my stuff? What if you could reduce that by half? It would declutter your life.
Hannes has helped develop several microchips. He wants us all to hack our biology. Microchipping is, he says, just the start.
I want us humans to open up and improve our sensory universe, our cognitive functions, and improve all different dimensions of being human. And there is so much we can do.
You want to make us bionic?
Indeed. I want to merge humans with technology, and I think it will be awesome.
I want to understand why it's people in Sweden who are enthusiastically embracing this idea, when many others might be sceptical. This is a nation of early adopters. Sweden's set to become the world's first cashless society, and the economy here is driven by digital innovation. This national rail company has taken microchipping on board, with 2,500 passengers signing up to use their chip instead of a paper ticket. I've come to the capital, Stockholm, the epicenter of this tech revolution. At this shared office, hundreds of the workers have been microchipped, so no need for a security pass to get in. Per has had his chip for 3 years.
So I take my chip and open the door.
It means he can buy a drink without cash or a card. But for him, it's about much more than practicality. Do you enjoy being one of the first, being a pioneer of this technology?
Absolutely. A whole bunch of questions come up. Like, is this ethical? Do we want to have that? Or will we be sort of a nation of cyborgs in the future? And what will happen? So a lot of sort of really interesting discussions come out from, talking about the chip.
It triggers an ethical debate.
Yes.
For critics, the biggest future concern is over data protection. As the amount and type of information we store on microchips becomes more advanced, so do the security risks. Ben Liberton, a British scientist working in Sweden, wants to know who will have access to the data stored inside and what they could do with it.
So I have the information in my chip now. That's basically just me. If I don't use it for anything, then no one can really get any data on me. But then if I start to use it at work, then work knows when I've interacted with something at work. If I then go to the canteen people know exactly what I've interacted with there. So the wider spread it becomes and the more that we can interact with different things, then our data is being kind of shared and incorporated in lots of different places. The nightmare situation in that case would then be that someone else has access to my health data, and that one day I get a letter through the door that's like an increase in my health insurance premium before I know that there's any problem with my own health. So I think we have to be cautious now in the very early stages to make sure that we're actually controlling how the information is being shared.
For now, it seems to me, what the chips can actually do is fairly limited. But the people I've spoken to are convinced that this technology will, one day, change the way we live. That in the future, we will all be chipped. And they are leading the way.
Okay, so we've watched the article on how the Swedes are just running with this thing wholeheartedly. So the question remains that I first asked at the beginning of it: what happens to the heathen? Okay, because there's gonna be plenty of people that are gonna get this chip if we see the Swedes getting it. But we were warned not to take the chip. Now let me read this real quick, because this is actually really important. Revelation chapter 1, verse 1. The revelation of Yahweh Shai Mashiach. That's the real name of who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. So which the Most High gave unto him to show unto his servants. He didn't say show unto the world, everybody. His servants. Okay? Which must shortly come to pass. And he sent and signified it by his angel John unto his servant. By his angel unto his servant John, who bear record of the word of the Most High, and of the testimony of Yahweh Shai Mashiach, and all the things that he saw. Alright, so now let's go to the same book, the 13th chapter. We're going to go about 15. Alright, I want to make a point here. Matter of fact, yeah, let's start up at verse, breaking it. It's funny. Vocab has no clue how to break down these prophetic scriptures, man. You know? But as Apostle Tahar said in his video, the scriptures are speaking. Okay? Literally speaking right now. As we speak, the scriptures are speaking on this prophecy. Okay, this is Revelation chapter 13. I'm going to start with verse 12. It says, I'm going to read through pretty quickly to get to the point, which is down by the 16th verse. It says, and he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them that dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. That first beast was ancient Rome, and America is the rebirth of the ancient Roman Empire. Okay, so and he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire to come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. They did that with the nuclear bombs, atomic bomb, hydrogen bomb, so on and so forth. Because they had the technology of that, and the beast is who had that technology when they did the Cold War, and they had the arms race to have nuclear power. Anyway, it says, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live. Talking about that same kingdom, the Roman Empire. Here getting into the meaty part now, the part that we really got to pay attention to. And he said, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead or anywhere in their body. And that no man might buy or sell save he had the mark. Hey, so if you don't take it, you'll die if you're not worshiping the beast. But if you do not take it, you die because you're not in the system. Okay? So if they catch you without it, there's a penalty. Does this go to everybody on the earth? Okay, well, who's not going to want it? We just saw in the video how much the Swedes are with it, and they're pretty much Edomites up there. Okay, pretty much. Okay? It says, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Hearing his wisdom, let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. And men have 6 limbs, so to speak, with the private parts, as well as that's talking about the actual barcode, the digital barcode that goes into these microchips that make the scanning process so much faster and easier. That's why everything has a barcode on it. That's on to be sold. All right. So, what happens to the Edomites, because we go to the next chapter, we'll see what clearly happens to the Israelites. Okay, let me see. But that's why I read Revelation, the first chapter. Okay, because it was talking to his servants, his chosen believers. Okay, which in a sense, that's the Israelites, all of the Israelites, but only the elect are not going to take it. Okay, the 2/3 may or may not take it, but that don't mean they're of the elect, because they don't take the mark of the beast. They could die something else without taking the mark of the beast, die from starvation, versus the elect not taking the mark and not dying of starvation, but having food. Okay, but the point is, this is set up to be talking about the Israelites. Well, let me go here at the beginning, Genesis chapter 25, down past 23. Yep, 23, it says Genesis 25:23, and the Lord Yahweh said unto her, talking about the angel, said unto, through the words of the Most High, said it to Rebekah, because she was pregnant and having birth pains. Okay, it says, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other, and the elder shall serve the younger. As he said in the video, I feel stronger. That they need that. They want the enhancements that it takes. That those are those miracles we read about in the 13th chapter. Okay, that they restore your eyesight. They can if you've been paralyzed, it can unlock that in your mind. If you have diabetes, it can monitor your blood glucose. Like all different types, just all types of things that this will be able to enhance people's lives in the word that they used in the video particularly, and make it more convenient. Okay, because that's what everybody's looking for. So that's what they want, because he knows he's not the stronger vessel. He's gonna need those enhancements, those cyborg enhancements, because what do they got? You go in here and they got all kinds of cyborgs doing all kinds of stuff out there. There's all kinds of movies of transhumanism. Okay, where they're adding like RoboCop, they're adding the human brain or human emotion or whatever to the person with cyborg abilities. The strength of cyborgs, the lack of getting fatigued, getting out of shape, needing to eat a lot of food. Those are all things that will be a part of this. Okay? All that'll end up being a part of this whole thing, that they'll be able to sell those conveniences to have super soldiers, like the movie Universal Soldier. That's what that was about. They enhanced these soldiers that were part human, part cyborg. Okay? And you really believe this man is going to allow you to remain the human qualities of it, right? You can just turn you completely into cyborgs, right? Just create them. You don't have to deal with you free-thinking human beings, all right? But that's one of the keys. 2 different types of people. The Israelites came out of that line, which was Jacob, and the Edomites came out of that line. Okay? So you have to understand that they want to be enhanced. They want to be stronger. And in fact, let me go to this in Deuteronomy right quick. I'll start at 5 in Deuteronomy 4 and 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord Yahweh my power commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither you go to possess it. Therefore, keep and do them, for this is your wisdom and understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. There's a separation. Okay, that the people will say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. For what nation is there so great that hath the Most High so nigh unto them, as the Lord Yahweh, our power, is in all things that we call upon him for? And what nation is so great that hath statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law which I set before you this day? Showing the separation. Okay, let me go to the 7th chapter right quick. More of the separation. Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy power. The Lord thy power, Yahweh, have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Okay? The Lord Yahweh did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because ye were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people. But because the Lord Yahweh loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he has sworn unto your fathers. Okay? He didn't make that oath with all the nations of the earth to be his particular people. He made certain oaths with them, like he wouldn't destroy the earth, but the rest of them, he didn't make oaths with the people. Okay? He made them through that seed line. He started with Abraham, which he's fulfilling it with Abraham, and the descendants of Abraham have a certain benefit. Okay? Isaac, down to Jacob, to where he chose those particular people. Okay? Through the prophecy as well. It says, that you have brought you, it says, sworn to their fathers, that the Lord Yahweh brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, out of Egypt, from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Okay, so he showed his affection toward us and made a difference right then, which I could go to the book of Exodus and show you that he make. I'll just do it right quick. Oops. Exodus 11, I believe it is. 7. Yep. Exodus 11 and 7. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know how the Most High do put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel, because the curses of Egypt, those 10 plagues of Egypt, hit the Egyptians, but did not come nigh the children of Israel. Okay, there was a separation that he dealt particularly with the Israelites and didn't deal with the other heathen. So you're not under the same law. To prove that, let me go to past it, Salakia. Go to Psalms right quick. Psalm 147, down at the end. Psalm 147 and 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. Who is this was so nigh unto us? Okay, that have a law so righteous is all this law, right? He hath not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgment, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord Yahweh. Now in the kingdom of heaven, yeah, you are gonna have to deal with it, but there won't be a mark of the beast in the kingdom of heaven. Okay, it won't be the RFID microchip implant in the kingdom of heaven. That has to get wiped out. That's a device of the devil. That's a philosophy that has to get wiped out. Okay, so if you Israelites take it, you're gonna get burnt up and killed. If you heathen take it, you're gonna get burnt up and killed. But that doesn't mean he's dealing with you, because the elect will not be a heathen. Okay, those that escape will not be a heathen. It doesn't matter if you take the mark of the beast or not. You just go into slavery, and you bring in the forces of the Gentiles. Okay, when the gates of the kingdom of heaven will be open, and you and your people will walk in with chains and deliver your riches, your gold and precious stones, and with all of the things of value that you have that we're going to take back from you. Okay, you're going to hand deliver them to us. All right. To prove that, let me go to this. I'm trying to keep this as concise while hitting certain points. Okay, I'm going to start here. Isaiah 14 and 1, it says, for the Lord Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Those are Israelite foreigners. Okay, those are Israelites that have been scattered amongst all the rest of the people that believe that they were the other nations. They're going to come back and be part of the Commonwealth of Israel. Okay, it says, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land. Okay, now take them. This them is not the same them. This them It's talking about the heathen, the rest of the heathen. Okay, take them to their own lands, but they first got to come to the land of Israel, give their forces or their riches. Okay, then they got to get their assignment on what they need to do to clean up the earth. Okay, but the ones that take the chip will be destroyed with everyone else. All right. It says, but showing you that there's a difference between, because everybody's not an Israelite. All right, even the 2/3 got to catch it. So why wouldn't a heathen catch it if they got to catch missile fire for taking the mark of the beast? Which I'll go to Revelation 14 in just a moment. It says, possess them in the land of the Lord Yahweh, for the land of Israel, for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives. The same they shall take them captives, whose captives they were. Meaning we were captive to the heathen. How do you know? When you look up, well, the history shows you we were under all these different rulerships under these other nations. Okay, they all ruled over us. But also in Psalm 83, that they took consent that they would make the name of Israel be no more in remembrance. All right, to cut us off from being a nation. All right, and they shall rule over their oppressors, and we're gonna rule over our oppressors. Our number one oppressor are you Edomites today. Okay, we're gonna rule over you. Thus saith the Bible. So this is part of your philosophy in your system. So it's fine if you take the mark of the beast. Go ahead and take it. You can take, if you're a heathen, you can take the mark of the beast. But you want to make sure that you're not an Israelite. Okay? Because it's going to be a heavy fee to pay if you take that mark of the beast, if you are an Israelite. Knowingly or unknowingly. Okay? We don't need to read that. Let's go to Obadiah right quick. Matter of fact, let's start with Revelation 14. Then I'll go to Obadiah and close out. This is pretty straightforward and easy to understand. But you gotta have the spirit of Yahweh Shemel shine on you, for the spirit of prophecy to break these things down, man, to open your mind to understand these things. Okay, we see vocab Malone when you speak, and all these other so-called biblical scholars, man, that have these degrees and whatever else. All that's wonderful, man, that you have that biblical knowledge, but none of it is important if you don't have the spirit, which will unlock the prophecy unto you. You have to be an Israelite for that to happen. All right, but the point being that the Israelites are not to take the mark of the beast. Who cares if you're a heathen? The Lord don't care. And matter of fact, I'll get that I'll get that right now. Back in the book of Isaiah, and I'll just hit this one because it's right here. Isaiah 40 and 15. It says, "Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as the small dust of the balance. Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing." He is not worried about you people. All nations before him, verse 17, all nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing in vanity. Emptiness, man. They ain't worried about what you heathen do. Okay? He ain't worried about if you break his statutes, laws, and commandments. Okay? Because you're a heathen. It wasn't given to you. It was given to the children of Israel. Okay? And that never changed. Matter of fact, to prove, I'm just rolling in the spirit right now. Come on. The book of Romans 11. Romans 11 and 1. I say, have the Most High cast away his people? Yahweh forbid. Okay, the Most High had not cast off his people. All right, and then when you read down in this book, this chapter particularly, it tells you about provoking them to jealousy. Yeah, those that understood they were Israelites would be provoked by the ones that didn't know that they were Israelites, but would come into the belief of being an Israelite. Okay? They didn't know they were Israelites, but they came into the belief because in their spirit they were Israelites. Okay? They are Israelites according to their father line in history. Not just because they choose to believe it. You have to actually have the spirit, because the spirit bears witness. A couple chapters over, the spirit bears witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. And chapter 10, the Spirit beareth in record that they have a zeal, but not according to knowledge. Okay, and so those things are gonna want to be on your mind. Hey, this man, he don't love the Most High. The name of Yahweh is dreadful among the heathen. They don't want to be involved in this thing like that. So let me go back to Revelation right quick. Book of Revelation 14. There you go. And I could have picked that scripture up in the book of 2nd Esdras as well, but there's no need for all of that. The 6th chapter, there's no reason for all that. I think the point been made with that. Okay, Revelation chapter 8. Chapter 14, verse 8. And there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. Yeah, how they do that? By telling them, yeah, you need to get chipped. Yeah, you need this. America's democracy and freedoms and all of that, and people are gonna fall for it, man. All those conveniences that the world are going to, this man is gonna fall for that. Everybody's gonna fall for that. But this place Babylon, aka United States of America, aka Sodom and Egypt, aka so on and so forth, all these other monikers that spiritual monikers that pick up the description of this place called America, the harlot, the Lady of Kingdoms, all of these places, man. Okay. Verse 9, here's the point. It says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, righteous anger. And he shall torment with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. That Lamb is Yahweh Shah. Okay? And when that means when that fire and brimstone, that's thermonuclear missiles. When you read Joel the 2nd chapter, so you're gonna have to taste that fire. Either if you take the mark, you still gonna taste that fire, man, because you're gonna be thriving and doing well in society with that chip. Okay, but your end is still gonna be met with death. There's no salvation coming to you neither. Okay. The Most High, the point is, the Most High don't care if you take that mark. You're still going in the captivity and in the slavery. Okay, and this mark of worshiping that beast is another form of the slavery chain or the obedience and the allegiance to the beast system. Okay? But the Most High sending Yahweh Shai down to quell all of that. That's why it'll be in the presence of the angels in the land, because the chariots will be sitting there. And that fire and brimstone is those thermonuclear missiles from World War III that'll be destroying, particularly America and other different places in the world. Okay? Verse 14, it says, and the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. But here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of the Most High and the faith of Yahweh Shai. Okay? And those are those Israelites that are really living with obedience to and allegiance to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, man, not to the beast, not to man on earth, not to money, not to all these other things, but unto the Most High. All right, so I'm going to end up, end with this verse in one of the favorite chapters of Obadiah. Okay. Let me see. Yeah. Let me see. Let's see. Yeah. He's going in on you, Edomites, man. This whole book, man, is beautiful. Yep. The track record on you. I'm gonna get to the point. Yep. Yeah, because they had an opportunity to help us, man. These Edomites had chances to help us, and they wouldn't. Whether it was Amalek or whoever, they wouldn't help us when they had opportunity. So anyway, down to verse 15, it says, Obadiah 1 and 15, it says, "For the day of the Lord Yahweh is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head." Like I said, this is key that you read Psalms the 83rd chapter, because they say let us cut them off from being a nation. Okay, then you can go to the book of Lamentations and see what happened in that book as well. They fan their hand and clap and hiss and say, "Is this the city of perfection?" When they help forward the affliction, erase it. Okay, they wanted to erase us off the map. Okay, the longer that they kept us from coming back into our ancient form of being righteous Israelites, the longer that they can remain in power. And even those that aren't in power but are subject to these Edomites, they'd rather be under them than with us. But they're coming to the point now where these heathen are like, "Hey man, this devil is a damn devil. This man really is trying to destroy the whole earth and everything in it." Okay, so they're starting to turn on him too, as you can read at the beginning of this chapter. "Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, they shall swallow down." This is all slavery. This is all being having someone rule over you. Okay, that's what he's talking about. Who the cup was not surely to drink it, was not to drink of the cup, have assuredly drunken it. That's talking about the Israelites. We were not supposed to be slaves to you people. The world was made for our sakes. When you go to like I said, 2nd Ezra the 6th chapter, that'll fill you in toward the end of that chapter. But if you read that chapter, it'll put it together, man. Showing you like why, if we're your favorite people, your chosen people, why are we on the bottom, and why is everybody else doing well? Well, this is breaking it down. If we didn't do our part, this is our punishment. But how long shall this endure? How long will this endure? Well, Jacob is the end of the world. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Okay. Says, shall drink continue. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. Okay, they had never ruled. It says, but upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. We're gonna possess all the possessions of the heathen. All right, because it's really ours. Because the earth was made for our sakes, and all these things, the fatness of the earth came from the earth, which the earth was made for us. Okay, verse 18, the point. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. Fire and flames burn up stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord Yahweh hath spoken it. Okay? And it tells you, even from further down, it even tells you, I'll just read it. No, I won't read it, but you can read that part. It just basically tells you that the lands of the Edomites won't be in possession, but the rest of the heathen, once they finish their servitude, will go back to working for us in their own lands. Okay, and they'll still bring in their tribute and so on and so forth, and they'll be living up under our rules, which our rules are our statutes, laws, and commandments that they'll now have to follow, because we're going to teach it unto them. You can fill that in Hebrews the 8th chapter. Okay, so shooting through this pretty quickly, but the point being, there's no hope. Whether you take, there's no big deal if a heathen takes the mark of the beast. He can go have that, try to get your power. These Edomites are gonna flock to it, and people are gonna choose the way of their oppressors with this mark, so they can feel powerful and they can be on a level. Well, that level, man, is set up for the Israelites. Okay, we're meant to be the higher power on the earth. Okay, in our righteous minds. Okay, so whatever happens to you, heathen, you take it, man. You're just gonna get destroyed. No big deal. It's no big deal. You'll come back. you're good, and you're definitely coming back in a servitude position and role. All right. So anyway, with that, Lord willing, this was edifying. I believe I made the point. So if a heathen takes the mark of the beast, man, whether they claim to believe in Christianity and Jesus Christ or whatever, if they take this mark of the beast, man, the Heavenly Father don't really care about you like that. But you still got to deal with with the punishment that comes. You still got to deal with that. Okay? Because all of that philosophy, that wine of the wrath of the fornication of this heathen, of this beast, man, you got to wipe that off the planet. Okay? So, Lord willing, this was edifying, giving all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, Bashim Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at the great millstone, and greetings, salutations, and blessings unto the elect. To the next one. Shalom.